Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back. And what are we getting back into? We are getting into Love is Blind UK, and we are now on episode 6, and it's called Once a Cheat, Always a Cheat. So let's see how we get on from here, shall we not? But before we get into this video, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know I'm doing videos. Please comment, like, share and do all the good things that you do, because I am on the road to 1k. And let's get into this video. So it starts off with, we see Ben and Nicole seem to be feeling each other. We see Demi and Ollie having a chat in the morning, and Ollie is saying to Demi that he didn't really like how quiet she was yesterday, but I don't think he realizes that it was how he acted that impacted on Demi. Ollie wasn't about Demi that night, and he should have been at the end of the day, because it's the first time they were all meeting those couples for the first time face to face. Yes, you could have had your discussion with Catherine, but it didn't have to take that long and be so flirty. And then you could have had your conversation with Demi, reassured her properly before you then went off to go speak to Bobby about if X, Y, and Z. Do you know what I mean? He didn't handle that situation as correctly as I thought he should have handled that situation. But you can let me know what you think. So Demi was basically saying that she was in her own head, and she did not feel good from when Freddie and Catherine walked into the place, and she did not feel good from when Ollie went to talk to her. And this is why I mean Demi needs to start speaking up and saying what she's feeling rather than holding it inside. And when someone's asking you, well, are you okay, don't just say fine, because we all know Demi was not fine, because we could see when she started to withdraw from the whole situation as it was. But I give it to Ollie, he does give her that reassurance through that time. He listens to her. He's basically saying that he feels absolutely overwhelmed within those group setting, but he is reassuring Demi that she is the one for him. I still don't fully trust Ollie at the minute when it comes to situations with Catherine, but and due to what he said to Bobby after that chat, but we'll see how that plays out. So Catherine is basically talking to Freddie, and she's basically saying that her best moment was when her and Freddie walked in together. I mean, we all know Freddie's drop dead gorgeous, but I really want more substance from Catherine, to be honest with you, when she's with Freddie, because I think it's just she's seen Freddie at a surface level, face value type of situation. I don't think she's digging that much past the surface. I think she really likes Freddie in terms of the facial structure and the outer package rather than the substance that's inside. And I will get to why I think that way as time goes on. So Maria and Tom go for a date, and they do see basically they talk about Demi and Ollie, because everybody seems to have Demi and Ollie on their lips. Like, they can't leave this couple alone, because not everybody is going to be PDAing it like everybody else is. Every couple is individual to themselves. This is how Demi and Ollie react when they're in situations such as a group setting. They're both not really, well, probably Demi more than Ollie is into PDA, but there's situations with Ollie where he's not the type of person to do PDA, and I don't think Demi is, to a point, but she does really still want like the hugs and stuff like that from him. So nobody can really say what's going on behind closed doors with these two, because when they're together, when Demi and Ollie are together, he fulfills her every need and she fulfills his. He's always hugging her, kissing her, giving her those reassurances. It just doesn't compute when they go into a group setting, because he doesn't do it there, which is where it needs to happen, but he just doesn't do it there. So Nicole and Ben are having their chats, and Nicole is basically saying that she's glad that they are together and that she's with Benaya, and Benaya is basically talking about how they're at a stage of exploring their situation more physically. Nicole does talk about the fact that she wasn't intimate until her early 20s. I was the same too, you know. I was a very slow burn. I lost my virginity very, very late in the game. Like, seriously, really did. To be fair, I haven't really seen them kiss or be overtly PDA-ish with each other either. So I don't know if there is an actual attraction between them. They look good together, but I just don't know with them two yet. I really don't know. So you see Catherine and Freddie, and they talk about Catherine going into Freddie's world, basically, and explaining to his family about how being engaged, like, will it be weird? And he says no. He says that he's head over heels for Catherine. But my thing is when he tells her these things, she just smiles, but she doesn't necessarily say it back. Like, there's no that emotional giving towards Freddie in that sense. She basically does say that she sometimes doubts herself and thinks that she's not good enough for him, and basically says that she's the type of person that always needs reassurance, because she's never met a man that like proceeds like Freddie does to constantly give her compliments. She says she does trust Freddie, but it would take her a lot longer. So then Catherine comes with the dreaded question that we always know is on someone's lips, and asked him, have you ever cheated? And he did say yes. But let's put it into context, yeah? Because this is where I think Catherine just literally was just finding any old excuse not to like this boy and to do whatever it is that she wanted to do next, okay? Because I think she took her reaction above and beyond what it was meant to have been, to be honest with you. Because the context is, Freddie cheated 7 years ago. Hasn't cheated since at all. He cheated on his girlfriend 7 years ago and instantly regretted it. But he was being honest and open with Catherine when she asked that question, because if he'd have said no, it would have come out later on in the wash, and then she would have been more suspicious as to why the fucking hell did you hide it from me? Do you know what I mean? Why didn't you tell me the truth? So it's a catch-22 situation for Freddie at the end of the day. He was being open and honest. Hadn't 7 years ago. Come on now. Like, come on now. So Catherine responded with a whole face screwing up. And he basically said that, yes, he cheated once. She found out about it and he did regret it. Catherine has basically said that she never cheated, but she had been cheating on. Freddie goes, well, does it change your opinion on me, on us? So she turns around with the comment that once a cheat, always a cheat. I just kind of think, I wouldn't think that way at the end of the day, because you always have to draw on the context of it. Now, if this person was a serial cheater, you'd freaking know, and you wouldn't be able to fucking trust them, especially if they're telling you, oh, every relationship they've been in, they've cheated. Then there's just cause for concern. Or if they cheated more than twice, more than thrice, more than 4 times, you know, cause for concern. Once 7 years ago, not necessarily a cause for concern, but it caused a concern for Catherine at the end of the day. And this is why I say sometimes on these shows, because there's a lot of them on here who have either gone through really bad relationships with people, or, you know, there's a lot of certain parents have walked away from their children, or there's been death. And some of them, you can tell, have not really dealt with the trauma or any type of emotion coming from that, and then expecting to go on shows like this and be able to tell the other person what it is that they want from that person, yeah, because of how another person's treated them. And I don't think that's fair. I really don't think that's fair. I think if that person gives you just cause to be concerned, then be concerned. Until they have done that, then there's no need for you to worry and be concerned, as long as they're reassuring you that they are there to stay. They are there to do X, Y, and Z with you at the end of the day. So this is why I think Catherine literally makes a mountain out of a molehill, to be honest with you, when it comes to this. So the couples all meet again. You can completely see straight away things are off between Catherine and Freddie, because Catherine is standing there and Freddie stood next to her and he's trying to talk, and basically everyone's saying, oh, you're two okay? And he's kind of like, yeah, we're okay. And Catherine, the way that she looked at that man was absolutely diabolically disgusting. Like, seriously. And I'm just like, there was no need to go to that extreme. Like, seriously, no need to go to that extreme. The man was being honest with your ass. Like, honest with you. He didn't have to be, but he was. but now you're treating him like a social pariah, man. It's really, really bad. Or is it pariah or pariah? One of those ones. That's how she's treating the dude. Right, so then the host came in, Emma and is it Will? Yeah, Emma and Will came in and basically talked to them about the fact that this is the point where the honeymoon is coming to an end. They're going to be moving in together. They're going to have their phones back. They're going to be meeting friends and families. And now this is where afterwards they've done the discussions, and then the couples all get together. So basically Jasmine is saying that she's 100 for Demi, but likes to check in with her. Ollie's talking to Benaya, and he talks about how he and Demi are not like touchy-feely with each other. He sees other couples and he starts to like wondering, should we be like that? But he's not comfortable doing that in front of other people. Now my thing is he should have that conversation with Demi at the end of the day, because Demi actually does want that type of PDA. It doesn't have to be full force or anything like that, but she actually does that want that from him. So they're on two separate pages at the moment. Basically with Demi, it's hard for her to listen to other people chat about what's happening between them, and in terms of seeing them together too. Ollie says he did doubt himself after he saw other couples being all touchy-feely, so now he questions if they've both missed something. But they do all of this in private, so I don't think they have missed something. It's just in terms of what Demi and Ollie are comfortable with, and this is where the white noise is going to cause an issue with these two. So Ollie basically says to Benaya that he feels isolated, and that he believes that within this couple setting now there's certain fractions. So you see Sabrina and Stephen, and she's happy to be with Stephen. They do look good together. It's on the outside whether it would work for them too, because yeah, they're all over each other now, but I don't know, there's just something about them two too. I hope it works out for them. There's something about them too, but I can't put my finger on it right now, right this minute. So Demi talks to Catherine, and basically Demi does tell Catherine that she felt triggered by that situation with her and Ollie at the end of the day. So Catherine basically talks to Demi and says, well, she's completely happy with Freddie, and as soon as she got with Freddie and she saw him, she basically said, that's the man I'm going to marry. I don't know about that. I seriously don't know about that. I think Catherine is trying to pull the wool over people's eyes at this moment in time. The same thing with Ollie, but I don't know. I can't question too much into Ollie's motives because of the situation that's going on with him at this moment in time. Demi talks about Ollie and his different sides, and basically keeps reassuring the girls that she is fine and everything is fine between her and Ollie. She says she can't ask for a better partner than Ollie, and keeps telling them how Ollie is with her behind closed doors. But because she's not showing them within that group couple scenario that she's this, she's that, they're this, did this, they're reading too much into the situation with them too, and what they need to do is just leave them alone and mind their business. If Demi or Ollie want help or support, they will seek people out to do that with. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's about them protecting their space, because when they're in a group setting, they both find it hella weird and uncomfortable, and the situations that they have is due to a group setting. Basically, again, Catherine's saying that she wants to see Demi's happiness, and I'm like, how many times can this girl tell you that she is happy? How many times can Demi tell the group that actually Ollie's really good? It's just when we get in group settings that it's hard. What don't they hear from that? What are they not taking away from that? Why does Ollie have to always be the bad person in this situation that's going on at this moment in time? That's how I'm reading into it. So Freddie is talking to Stephen about the date that he had with Catherine, and him coming clean about the fact that he cheated 7 years ago and it hasn't happened since. And basically how Catherine has carried on is actually hurting Freddie, and I don't think I don't know if she realizes that, or if she even cares, to be honest with you, because Catherine's just literally in her own feelings at the moment. She don't give a shit about Freddie and what he feels at this moment in time. So Ollie goes over to sit down by Bobby and Sabrina, and it kind of looks like Catherine and the other Catherine and Sabrina are quite close by, because Catherine keeps on looking over at Ollie as he's sitting down and making himself comfortable. And I'm just like, yeah. Demi also keeps giving glances to Ollie just to check that. I think it's just to check that he's okay. So Bobby asks Ollie, I should say, how he's feeling about Debbie. And I'm just like, why can't you people just literally mind your own business? I know Bobby, he's his boy, but don't ask him questions like that, like around people, because I don't think Ollie's that type of person to comfortably answer stuff like that. So Ollie does tell Bobby that he finds it all overwhelming. He says behind closed doors, it's good, and Bobby says that Jasmine basically turns around and says that Jasmine was worried about Demi. And then as soon as Bobby says that, who comes along but Jasmine, and literally so rudely puts herself in between Ollie and Bobby, like she wants to sit there. So she tells Ollie to move over. Now Ollie goes really, really quiet, and you can see when Ollie goes in on himself as well, because he's definitely not comfortable with this situation that is going on right now. So Jasmine then turns around and says to Ollie, can I be honest with you? So he goes, go on. So he says to him, you should have pulled Demi for a chat first instead of Bobby. And Jasmine said, the way I'm seeing her now is not the Demi that she knew. Ollie said he gets what Jasmine is saying, but Ollie is basically trying to say that he's overwhelmed right now, and all he wants to do is just to be able to talk to Demi. That's it. He don't want to talk to nobody else. At that point, yeah, Jasmine should have just went, oh, okay, I'll leave you two to talk. I will keep my way out of it. Everyone keeps putting a spotlight on them because Demi has gone into herself and gone quite quiet. There's a reason why she's done that, and all it needs is for Demi and Ollie to have a conversation and not everybody else to be involved in the bullshit at the end of the day. So for me, at this moment in time, there is too much outside noise. So even down to now, you've got Sabrina asking Demi if she's okay. And again, she has to re-explain that the situation, that she is fine. And she's just feeling in on herself and overthinking things. And it's not a reflection on Ollie, as he is a good person. I'm like, this whole process is intensive as it is. She don't need to be put under a further microscope by the people who are supposedly their friends at this point in time. So Demi says that she gets tense when she is in group settings. Yeah. So I'm like, they need to take that and back off and let this girl breathe. Like, seriously, let her breathe. So Jasmine, you see, cut back to Jasmine. And Jasmine told Ollie, to be honest, if he's feeling it, he's feeling it. But if he's not, he's not. And then goes, where's your head at? I was like, you know what? That's way too much. That is way too much, my girl, because Ollie never said that he was not feeling it with Demi. Hasn't shown that he isn't feeling it with Demi. Do you know what I mean? So for you to ask him something like that is actually bordering on rudeness, like full-on rudeness. Ollie basically told Jasmine that he can't do that right now, but they'd be riding him hard. And I'm like, what the fuck do you want this man to say? What do you want him to say? So Jasmine starts beginning to push his buttons, basically. And Bobby's just sitting there just watching. And I'm like, my guy, literally say to your girl, yeah, leave it there. You can see that he's uncomfortable. I don't want to override you, but I think we need to leave Demi and Ollie to chat it out for themselves rather than getting involved. Us having this conversation with him now can clearly see is putting pressure on him, like full on putting pressure on him that he cannot cope with. And you can see Ollie cannot cope with it. So Jasmine turns around and completely ignores what Ollie's just said and says to Ollie, like, do you like Demi? This is the point where Ollie gets frustrated and says, why would you ask me something like that? Of course I like her. If I didn't like her, I wouldn't be here. Do you know what I mean? And again, Jasmine keeps pushing. And I'm like, I know you want to bat for your girl, yeah, but you need to chill. Jasmine needed to chill at that point. Ollie is the one that needs to be truthful with Demi at the end of the day. Ollie is the one that needs to make it right with Demi and reassure her and she reassure him. They have to decide whether they want to continue down this path and deal with each other in the way that they're dealing with each other at the end of the day. Because right now, all Jasmine is going to do is push Ollie away and cause situations between Ollie's and Demi's relationship, because Ollie is going to sit there thinking, why is she coming at me sideways like this? And also, what the fuck has Demi said to make this girl act this way from me? Not realizing that actually Demi ain't said shit. It's Jasmine coming sideways, believing that she's protecting Demi's best interest, when in actuality, she's just making things a whole lot worse. A whole lot worse. So, Ollie does ask Jasmine, why are you coming at me? And Jasmine basically says that she's not coming at Ollie. She's raising it because Demi is insecure and you need to reassure her. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, Jasmine, just stop. Just seriously stopped. Because at this point, Jasmine is stepping into inappropriate territory. Now, she did kind of appear as though she might have been a little bit tipsy. So I don't know if that gave her the brave tongue to keep going in the way that she was going. So Demi comes over and goes to Ollie, do you want to go for a walk? And straight away I was like, nah, I don't. And that's how he says, no, I don't. So that's when Bobby then takes the initiative, which he should have done already, to grab Jasmine and say, let them talk. And Demi has come over all smiles, you know, because she's happy in her situation with Ollie. But Jasmine's just made it 10 times worse. So Ollie is basically saying that he doesn't want to stay in that setting anymore. And he automatically asked Demi, what have you been saying to people? To Demi was saying, I ain't said shit to nobody at the end of the day, which she hadn't. So now it's a case of Demi having to appease him over the damage that Jasmine just caused, basically. So he's basically saying that he's done. He's absolutely done. He doesn't want to do this anymore. And I don't know whether he meant the relationship with Demi or the whole program as a whole. And this is what happens when outside noise goes wrong, wrapped up in good intentions, because that's what Jasmine would, believing she was having good intentions in protecting her girl, when all she did was cause further pressure and white noise for Ollie and his relationship with Demi. So Ollie basically turned around and said to Demi, if that was one of my friends, yeah, because Demi did try and protect Jasmine and give an excuse as to why Jasmine was acting the way that she was acting, which is neither here nor there because she's caused the issue. So Ollie rightfully does say, if one of my friends were coming at you in the way that Jasmine came at him, he says, would that pull us closer together or make us more distant? And Demi responded with, it was make us distant. And Ollie says he wants to go home. So Demi just responds with, okay, then if you want to go at the end of the day. He says, I shouldn't have come here. And Demi's like, well, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? There's nothing more she can say to that at the end of the day. And at that point, I was like, Ollie, come on. And I'm thinking, yeah, there's something else underlying with Ollie, like seriously. So Ollie then gets up from this situation and just walks off. And I thought it was bad of Ollie at that point. I know he needed to get out of the pressure cooker before something was said that he didn't mean. But he also didn't look at it from the perspective of Demi and how it would look to everybody else. Him getting up and literally just striding out. And Demi's just left there like on her own. Like seriously on her own. Thinking what the fuck has just happened here. And having to save face in that sense. So I don't think he... A, took on board how his words were hurting Demi, and B, took on board how him just getting up and storming out would look on Demi as well. So Demi and Ollie do come together and speak like the next day, and he sits down straight away and he says he's getting to a point of thinking, is this even for us? Man didn't even start with an apology for the way he walked out or for the way he spoke to her that day. Didn't even give her an apology at that point. So Demi basically said that this is not a boyfriend-girlfriend situation. She said, this is marriage, someone you are going to be welcoming into your family. Being here is putting pressure on it. And Ollie was basically like agreeing with her, because at the end of the day, they've both come to as impasse, I should say, as they're thinking that this experience is becoming more of a hindrance than a help at this moment in time. So basically, Ollie is saying he wants Demi, but he doesn't know if he wants to continue with their relationship within this pressure of a cooker of an experiment, or for them to come out of it and continue their relationship in the outside world properly. So Demi is with him on that. But basically, Demi is erring on the side of caution and speaking sense and saying, well, let's see what happens when we go back to London, because then we are in our own space. At the end of the day, we control our own space, and then when we go out into the public, we have control over that scenario, because we could either stay within that group setting, or we could just walk back to the flats. At the end of the day, we don't have to stay there. We don't have to integrate if we don't have to integrate. So I think Ollie is on board with that kind of thing. I do kind of think that they're gonna have to try and see how they can start surviving with each other within group settings to not allow for bullshit like this to flag up again with them, because they can't deal with all of that. Like Demi or Ollie, and both of them together can't deal with all of that rubbish that was coming their way at the end of the day. And if they don't find a way as a couple on how they're going to deal with those types of situations as they come up, they're going to struggle for real, like proper struggle for real. So you see Catherine and Freddie having a conversation. Freddie's upset, like fully upset. So she's basically saying that she heard the word cheat and automatically it just shut her down completely. I'm just like, I have to ask, does Catherine really care about Freddie and their future? Because I don't see it. Because even through this conversation, Freddie started crying, you know. Freddie was able to be comfortable enough in a safe space to show his emotions, which is good, and he started crying. She kind of just looked at him at first, and then after like a whole pausing is when she then decided to show him comfort and reassurance, because he cried. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes it's kind of hard when you see a man break down like that. But she literally just sat there at first. I don't know if it was due to shock or taken abackness, but she needs to realise that actually you are hurting Freddie with how you're behaving with him. So it's time now for them all to leave the bubble of paradise and get to reality. One question as I keep, which is going to throw up for me, is how Ben and Nicole will work in the real world, you know, given he has no fixed abode and he likes to get away a lot. That question is going to keep regurgitating round and round in my brain in how that's going to work. So everybody you can see is worried about the outside world and when they get their phones back. Jasmine has already said that she is a very jealous person. I'm like, well, damn, that won't work out well for Bobby. If that side of her comes out, let me tell you that. So she's basically saying that she'll be watching his every move when he is on his phone. I'm like, sometimes these girls like to treat these men like they're absolute babies, do you know what I mean? And that they need this type of help and support. If he's on his phone to the point of he's ignoring you, ignoring the day, and it's the first thing that he goes to and he's on it all day, then yeah, albeit say something. But if he's not, come on now. So you see, Benaya talks to Nicole, and basically, because he wasn't prepared when he first asked to marry him, he didn't get a ring, but he ends up pulling out a ring box and putting it on her finger. So now the conversation rolls around where Catherine speaks about, in regards to the cheating worries, is playing on her mind. This is in her VC. Me, myself, as I've already said, I do think she's placing her own insecurities in terms of what others have done to her onto Freddie. Don't get me wrong, cheating is not good. It's seriously not good. And I think when people get to that point where they feel that they want to explore with other people, then they should have that conversation with the person that they're with to say, do you know what, I don't think there's anything there anymore, and I think it's time for us to cut away from each other and move on, because I am literally finding someone else more attractive than you are at this moment in time, but that's not the way I want to go down. Okay, they could do that, but they don't. They just decide to have their cake and eat it. Yeah. All I was saying with Freddie's situation, it was 7 long years ago again, but you like can let me know what you think, because me, I think Catherine is begging trouble. Either that or she's trying to self-sabotage. I don't know. Do I think she wants Ollie? I think so. I think something's going to come out there somewhere along the line. Something's going to come out there. So in comes Ollie and Demi. So they decided to stay. Ollie is basically not really wanting to see everyone else, but Demi wants to. And I'm like, at the end of the day, you are going to have to find a way in which to circumvent and navigate this new scenario that you find yourself into, because you're going to be expected to be within group settings with these couples and with the other contestants as well. How are you going to deal with that as a couple? They need to have those conversations. So Maria is lying on the bed at this point, fiddling with Tom's fingers. And she says to Tom that he spends too much time on his phone and they need to restrict it. Again, the man is not a child. And to be fair, it's only the first day back. They only got their phones back at that time. So you have to give him some grace. Bearing in mind how many weeks they've been without their phones. There's going to be notifications, emails, this, that and the other. And if they work and use their phone for work, they're going to have to reply back to people. So, you know, she needs to give him a little bit of grace. So Tom is talking about how he is a very high-powered PR executive, so that's why he's going to be on the phone quite a bit. It then comes out that Tom actually had a low opinion of Maria when he first heard she was a makeup artist, and he did kind of judge her in that sense. I was like, Tom is becoming off a little bit snobbish in this little area of point. Let's put it that way. Maria was not happy, which was her right to be. I would have agreed with Maria in terms of how he perceived her to be, knowing that she had a job and didn't have such an high-powered job. So basically, Tom is expecting his counterpart to be ambitious. He wants to have someone who shares the same values as him. I'm like, that does not include jobs, my friend. Like, seriously, someone sharing the same values as you doesn't revolve around what job they have and their ambitions. It really doesn't in that sense. So Tom kind of coming off a bit materialistic for me in that conversation. He does think that he believes that couples do view jobs as a deal breaker in a relationship. No, Tom. It'd be completely different if the person didn't have a job. Do you know what I mean? Then you kind of know what you're getting yourself into in that sense. But if you both had the same values and you weren't literally struggling in that sense and you didn't mind certain situations, then okay, you could make it work. But not everything revolves around the type of job that someone has. And that's what Tom was not getting and did not kind of realise why Maria was getting so upset with the bullshit that was coming out of his mouth at that point. So Tom felt that he had preconceived ideas of what she did and maybe felt that it was kind of shallow and such forth. Do you know what I mean? Not kind of, it was very shallow of Tom to do that. So Maria basically said, okay, then if that was the case, then you know what, this type of experiment wouldn't have been for you then if you knew exactly what jobs people did and that's how you did your selection of picking, then this type of experiment you shouldn't have even bothered coming. You wouldn't be there. So yeah, that's how that episode ended. It did cause some food for thought for both of them. So we'll see how they start as they mean to go on from that one. All I will say from here is please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know I'm doing videos. Please comment, like, share and do all the good things that you do, because I am on the road to 1k and I'll be back across your screens very, very soon, my people. Peace out.